Consider the following passage. Crab remains a moment motionless, heaves a great sigh, looks at his watch, fumbles in his pockets, takes out an envelope, puts it back, fumbles, takes out a small bunch of keys, raises it to his eyes, chooses a key, gets up and moves to front of table. He stoops, unlocks first drawer, peers into it, feels about inside it, takes out a reel of tape, peers at it, puts it back, locks drawer, unlocks second drawer, peers into it, feels about inside it, takes out a large banana, peers at it, locks drawer, puts keys back in his pocket. He turns, advances to edge of stage, halts, strokes banana, peels it, drops skin at his feet, puts end of banana in his mouth and remains motionless, staring vacuously before him. Finally, he bites off the end, turns aside, and begins pacing to and fro at the edge of stage, in the light, not more than 4 or 5 paces either way, meditatively eating banana. He treads on skin, slips, nearly falls, recovers himself, stoops and peers at skin, and finally pushes it, still stooping, with his foot over the edge of the stage into pit. He resumes his pacing, finishes banana, returns to table, sits down, remains a moment motionless, heaves a great sigh, takes keys from his pockets, raises them to his eyes, chooses key, gets up and moves to front of table, unlocks second drawer, takes out a second large banana, peers at it, locks drawer, puts back his keys in his pocket, turns, advances to the edge of stage, halts, strokes banana, peels it, tosses skin into pit, puts an end of banana in his mouth and remains motionless, staring vacuously before him. Finally, he has an idea, puts banana in his waistcoat pocket, the end emerging, and goes with all the speed he can muster backstage into darkness. 10 seconds, loud pop of cork. 15 seconds, he comes back into light carrying an old ledger and sits down at table. He lays ledger on table, wipes his mouth, wipes his hands on the front of his waistcoat, brings them smartly together and rubs them. Let us interpret. Why do the readers laugh when a lonely and aging man who wears dirty white shoes and no socks searches his pockets for a key ring, takes out a banana, peels it and drops a skin? Why does it cause ridicule when we read this passage? Beckett's writing style is characterized by omitting the use of various grammatical elements and refusing employing conventional syntax. He abandons almost all forms of punctuation, instead makes use of fragmented phrases and one-word expressions. So how does Beckett experiment with new forms of expression in Krebs' Last Tape? Most of Beckett's works are narrated as first-person monologues. What kind of storytelling technique does he employ in Krebs' Last Tape? The nihilistic literature draws characters with unity of selves broken into fragments. Nihilistic character has nothing to live for. Quentin Compson in the Sound and Fury by William Faulkner feels all he has sought and suffered is denied significance. He recalls what his alcoholic father taught him. All men are just dolls stuffed with sawdust, swept up from the trash heaps where all previous dolls had been thrown away, the sawdust flowing from what wounds in what side that not for me died not. Let me remind you that the Latin word nihil means nothing. Nihilistic character suffers from the absence of meaning. He becomes a prisoner of destiny that is both tedious and meaningless. He lacks the will to shape his future. He cannot make things happen and Yet, irrationally, he waits for something to happen. It is foolish to look for reasons, a principle for justification for life. The hero has given up to struggle. He will be whatever he is. But what is he? A simulacrum, a shadow without any convictions to buoy him up. He simply exists. He is not really alive, but dead. The thought of infinity fills him with horror. Can't find no sense in everlasting present, says Charles Glicksberg. So what leads Crabbe to think about past and present with regret? Beckett focuses on characters that face a meaningless and absurd existence. His characters are filled with nothingness as they attempt to find meaning for their existence. He often draws them grotesque. In Crabbe's last tape, Beckett introduces only one character, whose only conversations are with a tape recording of himself that he made 30 years ago. Crabbe has an ambition to change the world with his art, but he realizes that his best years are gone and he has wasted his life in search of meaning. Why does the writer draw Crabbe as a grotesque character? What forms and techniques does he employ to draw a character who fails to overcome absurdity? The term anti-hero is used to describe a character antithetical to traditional heroism. The modernist literature changed the way people thought of the concept of hero. In his novel Ulysses, instead of Ulysses' adventures on his way home to Penelope, Joyce gives us an ordinary Jewish man by the name of Leopold who ate with relish the inner organs of beasts and fowls. Most of all, he liked grilled mutton kidneys, which gave to his palate a fine tang of faintly scented urine. Is Beckett's character an anti-hero? Beckett's themes are often absurdist. Can this theme of Beckett's play be what the very title implies? Crabbe will not record another tape as he realizes that his life was devoid of meaning. So, do his words, now the day is over, night is drawing, of the evening still across the sky have symbolic meaning? Does the opening sentence of the play, a late evening in the future, have symbolic meaning?